Welcome, everyone. Thank you, everybody, for joining our podcast again. I'm Matt.
I'm Lily.
And this is...
That's Cool, where we can't stop, won't stop talking about stuff.
Thanks, Lily. So, again, thank you, everybody who's listened to our podcast over the past few episodes. And we've got a lot of downloads recently and some great feedback, so thank you. We're going to get going here on our podcast. We're sitting here in Providence, Rhode Island, on a rainy night. It's been kind of dreary all weekend, huh, Lil?
Yeah.
No sun.
Yeah. That's why I went bowling on Saturday, inside.
Bowling? I like bowling. That's cool.
I got a strike.
Nice. I went bowling a few weeks ago, and I broke 100.
You know, I went with Frenlo. We played 3 rounds, and we both tied for all of the 3, and we both got 248.
248 points?
No, but like in 3 games.
Oh, that's pretty cool, though.
And my dad got 200. Did I say 300? I meant 200.
Yeah, you said 200 something.
Oh, yeah, 248. And my dad got 258. And her dad got 300 something.
Very cool. So bowling. So anyway, yeah, it's a rainy weekend, so we figured great day to sit and do our podcast. So Lily...
And Matt was going to do some weird sports guy, but I decided we should do weather.
So we're talking about weather. Interesting, because we have quite a bit listed here, and I didn't realize how many different things I did not know about weather. I pretty much knew that it was
like
hot.
The crickets?
Yeah, the crickets. That's a cool one that's coming up. We'll get to that. But tell me a little bit about...
Let's talk about Yuma.
Yuma what?
Arizona.
Yuma, Arizona. What's in Yuma, Arizona?
It's the sunniest place on Earth. Is Arizona. Yuma, Arizona. Maybe someone from Yuma, Arizona is listening to us right now.
That'd be very cool. Anybody in Yuma, Arizona, shout out. Yeah, it receives over 4,000 hours of sunshine a year.
Wow. We get like however long the summer and some of the spring and some of the fall.
Yeah, and I'm not a big sun person. Like I like when it's sunny out, but I don't
get
like to sit in the sun.
I don't get how you don't like the sun, but you got a freckle removed because of the sun.
I did, and that's definitely something to talk about. So, in the sun, you want to make sure that you wear sunscreen all the time.
Well,
make sure
you
want to be yourself.
Well, you want to be in the sun, but you want to have a lot of sunscreen on.
Yes, because you can get sick if you don't.
Yeah, I have very sensitive skin, so I have to use the zinc sunscreen, which is like white.
Hey, speaking of white, and we'll get to it, but I have to hop ahead because I saw this when we were researching. That.
What do you mean we? You? I meant me.
Well, both of us. So did you know that snow is actually not white?
Okay.
Despite what our eyes are telling us, it's not really white, but translucent.
Then why do we see white or yellow or brown?
Well, when light reflects from the many individual sides of every snowflake, it's scattered and diffuses the entire color spectrum, making it appear white to the human eye. So translucent Christmas doesn't sound good, so we can't go with a translucent Christmas because I want to have a white Christmas.
Don't
or Hanukkah.
Eat yellow snow.
That is true, especially
or brown snow, because that's just like from the street.
Especially when Chili's outside, you're gonna make sure because
Chili's our dog for any of our new listeners.
Chili is our dog, and speaking of Chili, you talked about the sunniest place on Earth. What would be the least sunniest place on Earth if there has to be an opposite to it? Where is the least sunniest place on Earth?
The South Pole.
The South? Oh,
you would think the North Pole, because, like, Santa.
Yeah, that's true, because you figure it snows and it's cold all the time. But, yeah, so the South Pole is the least sunniest place on Earth. Want to hear something cool, though? Did you know that it takes about 8 minutes for sunlight to reach the Earth?
What?
Yeah, it travels at the speed of light, so that tells you how far away the sun is. It's pretty far away. It takes about 8 minutes.
Wow. So the hottest temperature recorded was in Death Valley, California.
Ooh, That is a hot place. I see people do like a road race there, and they run in like the hot temperatures when it's like, well over 100 degrees. That's
And it's even more because don't you see the people in like when it's like 60 degrees out there in like shorts and a t-shirt?
60. I see them out there even colder than that.
Yeah, because you have to. I think it's probably like 8 degrees. You have to dress like 10 degrees hotter.
Or 10 degrees cooler.
Yeah, that's what I meant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
you're running and
yeah, your body temperature.
yeah, I just did a
increases.
run and the shirts that they had us run were not good.
Why?
They were like thick. They were like thick and like heavy and ugh.
Well, it wasn't too hot out that day. But anyway, so
But you were running.
well, this is true. I was home on the couch, so I didn't get very hot that day. Yeah, Death Valley, it got to 134 degrees. Think about that.
Wow.
That's crazy.
On July 10th, 1913.
Yes, that was quite a bit ago. That was well over 100 years ago. And that, whether that's accurate or not, get it? Weather. That was a dad joke. Come on, give me it. Give me it.
I mean,
give me a little bit there.
I mean, dad jokes are pretty funny.
So, Lily, you told us where the hottest temperature in the world was. Where was the lowest temperature ever recorded in the world?
Vostok, Antarctica. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Vostok, Antarctica. That sounds good. I don't think anybody that I know is going to correct you, but there could be one of our listeners in Antarctica. And hopefully their computer or phone or apparatus didn't freeze up there. But it got to...
or themselves.
That's true, themselves. So it got down...
And they're just like a block of ice like, Alexa, play That's Cool.
Well, they'd be...
Shuffling That's Cool and similar songs on Amazon Music.
That's our Alexa. Alexa,
stop! Did you have to say her name? That was good. That was great. And she's playing our podcast, so Alexa is a fan. It did get down to 128 degrees below zero.
Wow. Didn't we have like zero like last winter?
We might have hit zero, but think
Yeah, I
about
think
another 128 degrees lower.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I mean, it's
no,
not...
last winter we hit zero, but we didn't get a lot of snow that year.
Yeah, we don't really get that much snow anymore. At least it wasn't absolute zero.
What's absolute zero?
I think it's a temperature at which a thermodynamic system has the lowest energy. It's down to about 459.67 degrees Fahrenheit. So negative
Wow.
459 degrees Fahrenheit. So that
I'm not doing
absolute
that
zero.
at all. I'm not doing that. No.
Well, you can get a nice parka, you got to layer yourself though. You got to make sure you layer yourself.
Yeah, like 10 zillion snowsuits, 10 zillion snow pants, 10 zillion more jackets, but the big heavy ones with the soft fur and
You got to have
not real fur.
You got to have the fur. Yeah, like you're
Not the real fur.
No, not the real fur.
Of course
definitely.
not.
So, anyway, Lily, that was this place where the lowest temperatures were recorded, but nobody lives there that I'm aware of.
Probably like scientists, but I wouldn't think like that part of Antarctica if it got that cold.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of folks up there that study different weather patterns and things.
Yeah, like scientists.
Yeah, exactly what you said. But where's the coldest inhabited place where people live?
Siberia.
Over in Russia. Hey, your great-grandmother's from Russia. Did you know that?
Yep,
And she lived in Siberia.
And my grandma lived in Siberia until she was 2.
That's a cold place. So it looks like it averages negative 50 degrees during the winter.
I'm not going there.
You know the ground, it's permanently frozen. And do you know what a permanently frozen ground is called?
I don't know. I'm just guessing here. Permafrost?
It's permanently frosted. You got it. Good. Where'd you pull that one out of?
I'm reading. I'm not actually guessing.
Oh, all right. You actually read. All right. You read ahead. Good job. Paying attention here. Before we get off the temperature topic.
Of course I'm paying attention. I wrote this and it's my podcast.
Our podcast. Let's keep moving forward. Before we move off of temperature and move on to some other exciting things about the weather, you talked about crickets earlier. What about crickets?
They indicate Temperature.
You are correct. So what's probably one of the more bizarre mathematical equations, your favorite, math.
Ugh.
You don't like math?
No.
We've talked about this. Math
Ugh.
is everywhere, and you need it. So own it. So anyway, the temperature is calculated according to the rate at which the crickets chirp. It was formulated by Amos Dolbear in 1897. The Dolbear law helps calculate the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit based on the number of chirps per minute. Very cool. It's actually accurate within a degree. So that's very, very accurate for a cricket. I didn't know they could be weather forecasters.
And that was in 1897.
What do you call the weather forecasters? Meteorologist.
Oh.
So anyway, what are we moving on to next? What's the next topic?
Rain.
Yeah, that's what we've been seeing all weekend is rain.
Rain, rain, go away.
So I heard there's a place.
Come back, not today.
Right? So it rains a lot in certain parts of the world, but there's one place on Earth that it rains a lot. The most, actually. So where is that place you would tell me about?
Mostram, India. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Mouse and Ram. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're pronouncing that
yeah,
correctly.
we're probably not pronouncing that right because
Masaran.
because a lot of these names aren't from English, so we can't really pronounce them very well. So if we're saying that wrong, you can reach out.
Yeah, let us know because we'd like to hear from you if you're there.
And if you don't know how to
hopefully you're not
if you don't
down and upset because it rains so much. We got you. We'll keep this podcast going so we talk about sunny things, sunny things to come.
And if you don't know how to type it in, just spell it, not spell it, but kind of make us sound it out.
All right. So it's talking about that place in India. It's a village, and it receives more than 11 meters of rainfall every year.
Wow, that is a lot of rainfall.
Yeah, it's over 30 feet of rain.
You know, I was actually just learning about this in geography. Do you know what it's called on a map? Kind of map they use to do the rainfall and weather?
What?
It's called a special purpose map.
A special purpose map? I never heard of it. That's pretty cool. You'll have to show me that one. So, where is the highest recorded rainfall in one particular event? Because I know you told me where it rains the most. Where's you told me there was a record, for the most rainfall ever.
Yeah, Onionville, Maryland.
Unionville. Onionville, Maryland. Yeah, so everybody's crying, right? Everybody's crying from the onions, and that's where all the water comes and the rain. So, Onionville. So, everybody from Onionville, Maryland, please forgive us. She butchered that one. It's Unionville, Maryland, but we were close. Onions. Hey, you say tomato, I say tomato.
I say onion, you say union.
Unionville. We got it. So it was pretty amazing. You told me before. It was amazing. What was it that happened there?
On April 7th, 1956, 23 inches of rain fell in just 60 seconds.
So
a minute.
So almost 2 feet of rain fell in 1 minute. That's great. It's like somebody up above took a bucket and just dumped it. You ever go to the water park? You ever see in the kid, you're playing around in the water park and they have that big bucket that slowly fills up and all the kids stand under it and wait for it to tip over?
I'm one of those kids.
Yeah, you are. You're just knocking people out of the way. I want to get under there.
It's true.
Oh yeah. I've seen you. You're telling me about some of the rain. Let's get it dry. And this goes back to our puppy Chile. That's the driest place on Earth.
But they spell it different. We do
Yeah.
Chili and they do Chile.
Yes, that is correct. In Chile, in contrast to the wettest place that we talked about, the driest place on Earth is in Antofagasta, Chile. The city receives less than 0.1 millimeters of rain every year. It can go for several years without receiving any
I'm not the only
rainfall.
one who can't pronounce pronounce cities.
We're doing our best, and we go geography, and we're trying to figure it out as we go, but learning and reading as we go. Onionville. I didn't get it as bad as Onionville. I didn't say antepasta chili. I said antofagasta. So.
I think you should have said pasta because I wouldn't be because then we could make a whole meal: onions, pasta.
Yeah, well, actually, now I'm getting hungry that you're talking about that, and especially that's what I do on rainy days. You start picking on food, and because I'm bored in the house. But anyway, let's keep ourselves busy so I don't eat
the house.
Yeah, and snack on anything that I don't need to be. So, did you know actually that you can't smell rain? Because I thought you could because. Sometimes in the summer, before it rains, I can smell it. Or when it rains, I should say. You can smell it.
Like, when it's, like, really, really humid out, you can smell that.
Yeah. Well, most of us recognize the smell of rain as a particular...
I don't know, this is not going to be a very good explanation, but it smells wet.
It smells wet. If you to put this in perspective, smelling wet. I want you to elaborate on this for us because I'm totally confused now. Smells wet.
It
Doesn't smell like an onion. It smells wet.
When you outside and it's humid and you kind of feel the air and it's like wet. You smell that.
Yeah, you can feel the humidity, but...
You smell humidity.
Well, did you know the smell or that scent is called petrishor? Not Patricia like a person. Petrishor. Petrishor, I think is how you pronounce that. And it comes from the dry surfaces that the rain hits. So when the rain hits something, especially when it's hot out, you can smell that.
We should do a podcast with things that we can pronounce.
But then there'll be no fun. I want to hear more Onionville. So
we're still coming back to Onionville.
That's right. Right. So every raindrop apparently ejects tiny particles known as aerosols when they hit the ground. So that's where you're getting the fragrance from. Oh, and what's coming up? Because we're going to do something in October. October's coming up, and I love October. It's like
Halloween.
My favorite month. Halloween.
Taylor Swift. Friday the 13th.
Yeah. We
movie.
We were already.
I'm watching it on Friday the 13th in October, and that's kind of scary.
All right, I heard all about that. But anyway, talking about Halloween and spooky things, did you know it rained blood one time in India? It rained blood.
India doesn't have states; they have countries.
No, India's a country, and they have states within it. But it actually rained blood.
No.
All right, I'm lying. It wasn't actual blood, but it was red rain. They thought it was because a meteor burst, but they studied it and found out the red rain were from colored airborne spores, which was very interesting. So everybody thought it rained blood, which kind of might freak people out. This was in 2001, so at least it wasn't 200 years ago. People really would have been petrified, but we at least can explain it.
And you know what that kind of reminds me of? You know that scene in Wednesday? At the dance. Great
show, by the way, Wednesday.
You know that scene in Wednesday?
Oh, yeah.
At the dance when she tasted, and she's like, "It's not the real stuff. They could have used. It's just paint. They could have used the real pig's blood."
Right? Yeah. It's kind of like the movie Carrie. You can't watch that. You're too little. But that's another horror movie that I like. So anyway, speaking of onions and crying. You told me that raindrops are shaped like teardrops, and that was not correct, I guess. I looked it up.
It's true.
Oh, it says the fact is most common raindrops shaped like a hamburger bun. See, we're back to food again. And you put onions on hamburgers, right? So hamburger buns, so back to Onionville. According to the Geographical Survey, small raindrops are spherical. You know what spherical is? Mm-hmm. So they're round, and larger ones assume the shape more like a hamburger bun.
Now I want a hamburger.
No, you don't like. No, we don't like hamburgers.
Why?
Well, you like hamburgers. I don't. I can't eat them. Did you know also that the oldest weather measuring device was a rain gauge?
What's that?
It's basically a little canister, that when it rains and it has little, levels on it, and they mark it, and you can tell how much rain has come, how many inches of rain.
Well, that's really cool.
So they were looking at this around 500 BC by the ancient Greeks and by Indians. That's pretty interesting.
No, the Indians were 400 BC.
Well, 500's longer. It goes backwards. It's the opposite.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that. I should know that.
Yeah, it goes back like negative numbers in math. Hey, we're back to math again, see? You love math.
No, we don't.
You got to have math. So, Lil, what do we have next to talk about?
Matt,
Yeah?
I'm looking over all these papers that I wrote. I didn't realize how much I wrote. So I don't know what we're going to do.
Well, there are quite a few papers here, and we've only
And we're already past 20 minutes.
Yeah, we only made it halfway through. What do you suggest?
Maybe we can do it in 2 parts.
I think that'd be fantastic. So we do a weather part 1 and part 2. So, yeah, definitely the wonders of weather. I'm having fun. So we'll come back and maybe tomorrow we'll do the second part. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea.
All right. Well, again, I just want to thank everybody, all of our listeners, for everybody who's subscribed so far, who's downloaded our podcast. We really, truly appreciate that. And any feedback that you have, please share it with your friends, your family, and anyone you think that might be interested. We really, really would love to get more listeners and to continue, hopefully, sharing information and a few laughs. So, again, we're available on all major podcast sites and YouTube as well now. So please reach out to us if you have.
Don't forget Instagram.
Oh yeah, we're on Instagram as well under That's Cool Podcast, and we'll be adding it to a few other social media platforms. Again, thank you everybody. We truly appreciate you and you listening to us. Have a great night.
Bye.